Are you looking for an inspiration for your next vintage story base? Here's a roundhouse inspired by real Celtic architecture. For an accurate Celtic feeling, I recommend using a thatch roof, daub walls, and packed dirt as your main building materials. When it comes to wood, there are plenty of the tree species that are native to the UK, so you can decide between pine, birch, or oak. Since granite is one of the most commonly encountered resource, I figured it would be nice to use the shade of daub that is most easily obtained. If you like the design, here's what you are going to need. Start by placing wattle fences according to the recommended design you will now see on the screen. It's a 15 by 15 block circle, and all of the amounts of resources I will share were used for that specific design. In total, you will need to gather 5 half stacks of sticks, which means 160 sticks. And since the wattle fence recipe involves using a knife, make it to 165 or 170. For walls, you will need at least 960 daub. However, keep in mind that after creating the initial block, you can still use more of the resource to fill the block in, meaning that if you are looking to achieve a nice varied texture on the walls of your roundhouse, you will need roughly 1200 daub. And in order to craft this much, here's what you need: 150 dirt, 150 clay, plus 150 sand, and on top of that 300 dry grass. For the floor, I used around 198 blocks of packed dirt. You can lower it to 189 by having the middle 9 blocks replaced with some gravel or any other stone-like resource of your choice. The reason for that is simply because that's where the fireplace is meant to be. So, for 189 packed dirt, you need to gather 6 half stacks of soil. To construct the wooden entrance, you will need 32 debarked wood logs. And for perhaps the most challenging part of the design, the roof, you will require a total of 1200 thatch plus 8 dry grass for the block in the middle. You can also detail the construction on the inside by introducing support beams, although admittedly I do not have exact calculations for those, since I use creative mode for that particular part. I will now show you the layout I used for placing the support beams. If you would like to lower the daub block and wattle fence requirements, you can make the roundhouse slightly shorter, which perhaps will make it appear even more realistic, but could end up feeling slightly claustrophobic. Once you are done with your structure, I highly recommend chipping away a few of the blocks in a way I am now going to show you. The reason for this is purely inspired by the actual Celtic architecture as seen on this picture. If you would like to see more of these building ideas for Vintage Story, don't forget to like and subscribe. Any ideas or feedback are always appreciated in the comments. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.